How does it feel to beat Elton John?
Whew. I hope he speaks to me for the next couple of years.
Number 10, Orlando Bloom and Justin Bieber. All's fair in love and war, right? It all started at a fashion show in 2012 when Justin Bieber allegedly got cozy with Orlando Bloom's then-wife, Miranda Kerr. The two's divorce didn't help matters, and in 2014, Bloom was caught on camera trying to throw a few punches Bieber's way. The singer's only response to the scandal was a very pointed Instagram post. Still, Bloom did end up getting his revenge. In 2016, he apparently went out with Bieber's own ex, Selena Gomez, and there's photo evidence to prove it. Suffice it to say, this quarrel is worth remembering for the pettiness alone.
Sorry.
Number 9, Demi Lovato and Kathy Griffin.
This is the first time that I know of that a comedian of my stature has actually been confronted this way via social media by the artist herself, knowing she's got 30 million Lovatics.
From public name-calling to shady callouts, these two celebs spent much of the early 2010s in a bona fide grudge match.
I just want to make fun of a singer now and again.
It all boiled over when Griffin gave Lovato some very constructive criticism about her performance at the 2015 VMAs. Lovato, to her credit, took the opportunity to promote her own album, so at least she got something out of it. However, Griffin had to have the last word. She brought out her own receipts of their relationship, including a photo of them hugging like old pals. Things seem to have cooled between the two over the years, but it's hard to say if they can ever truly be friends after all this. Number 8, Winona Ryder and Gwyneth Paltrow. At one point, these two actors were best friends, but all that changed when Gwyneth Paltrow found the script for Shakespeare in Love at Winona Ryder's house.
Tell me how you love her, Will.
Like a sickness and its cure together.
Yes. Like rain and sun. Like cold and heat.
Enamored with the story, Paltrow began campaigning for the part of Viola, eventually beating out Ryder for the role.
What do you love so much?
Your Majesty.
Speak up, girl. I know who I am.
There's a wrinkle in that tale, though. If Paltrow is to be believed, it's all a lie. The Oscar winner swears up and down that Ryder is a conniving liar who fabricated the whole story in a bout of jealousy. No matter who's telling the truth, it's clear there's some serious bad blood afoot. Although, considering Paltrow's goop-related feuds with Martha Stewart, that's pretty much par for the course for her.
Was Goop trolling Martha Stewart with the cake recipe, or did we make this up?
Yes.
Number 7, Howard Stern and Jay Leno. For literal decades, these two celebs have hated each other. It's practically a tale as old as time. In fact, it's so long-standing, there isn't even a clear reason as to how it started in the first place.
No, this is the problem with the show, Jay. You got no killer instinct.
But whether it's because of poached staff, stolen jokes, or plain old dislike, it's obvious that Howard Stern and Jay Leno aren't making up anytime soon.
Your ratings haven't been that stellar. Is this true? I mean, occasionally Nightline does beat you both, and even Jenny Jones reruns beat you once in a while. So I came out tonight to give Jay a little lesson on how to get ratings. I guarantee you that tonight is the big night for The Tonight Show. It's about time.
And they'll tell you that themselves. Let's just say that Stern has spent more than a few interviews going on long-winded rants about how much he hates Leno.
And I read in the paper that Conan is going to replace Jay Leno, thank God.
While this age-old feud isn't exactly making headlines anymore, it's definitely not going away either.
Just the mere mention of Jay Leno's name makes me want to vomit. I don't like this guy. I don't disguise it. And probably what irritates me the most is people in show business are afraid to say how much they dislike Jay Leno, but I am not.
Number 6, George Clooney and Russell Crowe. Hollywood is home to quite a few big personalities, but few are quite as large as George Clooney and Russell Crowe's. So, inevitably, the two ended up ruffling each other's feathers, particularly in the mid-2000s. During an innocuous interview, Crowe called Clooney a sellout for his aggressive push into commercial marketing. Clooney countered with a joke about making a whole band of sellouts, but that only seemed to fuel the fire. Thankfully, there's a good reason you haven't heard many updates since.
Clooney for the first time revealing he did receive an apology from Crowe.
While it isn't all sunshine and rainbows, Clooney hates feuding with others so much that he and Crowe have seemingly swept this skirmish under the rug, at least for now.
Are you not entertained?
Number 5, Marlon Brando and Frank Sinatra. Despite many valiant attempts, these two were never going to be friends. Allegedly, their warring ideals go back all the way to 1955's Guys and Dolls. Sinatra felt Brando didn't have the singing chops for the musical, and Brando himself felt the same about Sinatra's acting.
Still, you will admit that Mindy's cheesecake is the greatest cheesecake alive.
Gladly. Furthermore, I am quite partial to Mindy's cheesecake.
And yet, although you might disagree, many people prefer Mindy's strudel to cheesecake. Do you disagree?
It is my understanding that the Constitution of the United States allows everybody the free choice between cheesecake and strudel.
The two quarreled and quarreled until eventually they could only communicate via a mediator. It's a shame that not as many modern viewers know the full story behind Brando and Sinatra's bickering, especially since it only makes the movie better. After all, if even half of their rumored squabble is true, it's amazing Guys and Dolls turned out as well as it did. Number 4, Lady Gaga and Kelly Osbourne. Technically, Lady Gaga didn't start this fight. Her fans did.
And you can't bleach your hair blonde when you're pregnant.
Oh? After Osbourne levied some light insults at the pop star, Gaga's legion of supporters came back. Hard. Eventually, Gaga herself wrote an open letter on the situation, but that was only a band-aid fix. It wasn't until a few years later that the two finally decided to let bygones be bygones. By then, though, most people had already moved on. See, this wasn't Osbourne's only public rivalry. It wasn't even the only one with a pop star. When you already have a longtime vendetta against Christina Aguilera, all the other drama is just extra icing on top.
When I confronted her in person, she really had nothing to say, so.
Number 3, Madonna and Elton John. In a way, you have James Bond to thank for this public dispute. Elton John began the decade-long fight by calling Madonna's Die Another Day the worst Bond tune ever. And somehow, it only got worse from there. When John won a Q Award in 2004, he spent a bulk of the acceptance speech railing Madonna for allegedly lip-syncing during live shows.
Since when has lip-syncing been live?
It took a few years, but he got his comeuppance when Madonna beat him out for Best Original Song at the 2012 Golden Globes. As exciting as this duel of the divas was, it's probably for the best that Madonna and Elton John buried the feud in the early 2010s.
She was very gracious. She accepted our apology. We bought a dinner, and that's over and done with.
Number 2, Eminem and Nick Cannon. Another day, another duo fighting over a girl. In 2009, rumors swirled that rapper Eminem had gotten with Nick Cannon's wife at the time, Mariah Carey.
Why you so obsessed with me? Boy, I wanna know.
But they were just that, rumors. Or they were, until Eminem dropped the diss track, Bagpipes from Baghdad, which seemingly confirmed that something had gone on between the two.
Locked in Mariah's wine cellar, all I had for lunch was red wine, more bread wine, and Captain Crunch.
Afterwards, things were quiet for 10 years. Then, out of nowhere, Nick Cannon reopened the wound during a podcast interview.
He didn't want to battle me. It could have went down.
Cue another diss track, an Instagram rant response, and yet another diss track after that.
Took a page out of Drake book. This might get a Grammy.
The two have stayed quiet for the past few years, and given their history, maybe that's for the best.
I think I won.
I don't agree with. Oh, I don't. Did
What?
he? I don't agree.
If somebody picks a fight but doesn't show up to the fight,
I don't think you won.
who? So who won? How did he win?
By not responding.
Number 1, Axl Rose and Kurt Cobain. The saddest part of this showdown is that it could have been avoided. Reportedly, Axl Rose wanted to be friendly. He even went as far as offering Nirvana a chance to tour with Guns N' Roses. But Cobain wasn't having it, and he made that very clear with several public denunciations of Rose's political views. From there, the bands continued to exchange heated words until they nearly came to blows at the 1992 VMAs.
Hi, Axl. Where's Axl? Hi, Axl.
Despite the boiling tension, Cobain's tragic death in 1994 squashed the beef right then and there.
For people too young to remember when Jim Morrison or Jimi Hendrix or even John Lennon died, the death of Kurt Cobain just 10 days ago evoked a similar sense of loss.
Nowadays, both Rose and Cobain are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but their legendary feud deserves to go down in a different kind of history book. Did we miss any under-the-radar drama? Let us know the juicy tidbits in the comments below.
I'm jealous of anybody. It's not going to be a guy who steals material.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.